Hello everyone, you are welcome to my solution to the Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics paper 4-2 written in June 2025. There are 27 questions in this paper. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. Also, like, comment and share this video. Let's jump into the first question. A quadrilateral has these properties. The diagonals are the only lines of symmetry. It has rotational symmetry of order 2. Write down the mathematical name of this quadrilateral. So the mathematical shape that meets this criteria is a rhombus, because when you draw a rhombus, okay, it has 4 equal sides. Okay, so you have the first one. This is the first line of symmetry. So this will be the second line of symmetry. Okay, so and when you rotate it from 0 degree to 360 degrees, okay, so it looks like itself twice. That means it has order 2. Okay, so the name of the mathematical shape that meets this criteria is a rhombus. Okay, so let's go to question 2. The diagram shows the net of a solid. Write down the mathematical name of this solid. So this is a triangle, this is a triangle, and they are both the cross sections of this shape of the solid. Okay, so all these lines are a straight line that connects these two cross sections together. So that means we have a triangular prism. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Question 3. The mass of box A ratio mass of box B is 4 to 7. The mass of box B is 2.4 kilograms, more than the mass of box A. Calculate the mass of box A and the mass of box B. Okay, so let's denote the mass of box A by M A and the mass of box B by MB. So this is 4 to 7. Okay, so to get the mass of A, so you have to multiply it by something which I will come to get the mass of box B. So you have to multiply it by something. Okay, so in this case, so let's multiply two of them by x. Okay, I can say multiply by x, then multiply by x. So this will be 4x and this will be 7x. So these are the masses of boxes A and B respectively. Okay, so now what we need to do now is to, okay, before then we are told that the mass of box B, that is MB, so let's take note of this, that is from this statement. Okay, the mass of box B is 2.5 kilograms, more than the mass of box A. Okay, so let's say then you have mass of box A, okay, plus 2.4. Okay, so this will be the mass of box B. Okay, so let's take note of that. Okay, so now what we can do now is to make use of what we have here. So let's start from here. Okay, so we have MB to be equals to MA plus 2.4. So we can say that the mass of box B minus the mass of box A will be equals to 2.4. So that is the difference between their masses. Okay, so I haven't written this, so we can now use this. The mass of box B is 7x, so we can put 7x minus the mass of box A is 4x here, then equals to 2.4. So this will be 3x to be equals to 2.4. So if you divide both sides by 3, so we have the value of x to be equals to 0.8. So that is the value of x. So to get the mass of box A now, so we have to multiply x by 4 according to what we have here. So that is mass of box A will be equals to 4 times 0.8. So this will give us 3.2. And the mass of box B will be equals to 7 multiplied by 0.8. So that will be 5.6 kilograms. So let's go to the next question. Here, A, B, C, D is a trapezium. Work out the area of the trapezium. So we have the two parallel sides to be this. So this is equals to A and is equals to 10. And this is B, which is 12 centimeters. And this is H, the height, okay, 8 centimeters. So using that formula, so the area denoted by A will be equals to the sum of the two parallel sides, A add B, then multiply by the height, okay, then everything divided by 2. So let's key in the values. So this will be equals to 10 add 12, okay, multiplied by 8, then divided by 2. Let's scroll up a little bit. So this will be equals to 22 by 8 divided by 2. Okay, so 2 here 1, 2 here 4. So 4 multiplied by 22, that will be 88. So the area of the trapezium is 88 squared centimeters. So let's go to the next question. Question 5. Scott changes $300 into pounds. So the exchange rate is 1 pound to $1.2. Calculate the amount Scott received. So that will be ratio of pounds to dollars. So which is 1 to 1.2. So it changes $300. So if you have $300 here, so what was done to 1.2? So I have 300. So that will be multiplied by 300 divided by 1.2. So you have to do the same thing on this side. So this will be multiplied by 300 divided by 1.2. So this will give us 250 pounds. So that means Scott receives 250 pounds. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 6. A solid wooden cone has base radius 4 centimeters and height 12 centimeters. The density of the wood is 0.74 grams per cube centimeters. Calculate the mass of the cone. So we are given the density of a solid. That's the formula. Okay, so what you can do, you may want to sketch a wooden cone. So let's say you have something like this. Okay, good. So from here to here is the radius, which is 4 centimeters. Okay, and the height will be this, 12 centimeters. So what we need to do is to, okay, so we have the height, let's say h is equals to 12 centimeters, and the radius is equals to 4 centimeters. So we know that density is equals to mass over volume, okay? So let's denote the density by the density of the wooden cone by this. So D, okay, to represent density of the wooden cone. So that will be equals to, let's say the mass now, it will be this mass of the wooden cone divided by the volume, okay, of the wooden cone. So if you cross multiply, you can actually make the mass the subject of the formula. So that implies the mass of the wooden cone will be equals to the product of these two, the density of the wooden cone, okay, multiplied by the volume of the wooden cone. So already we are given the density of the wooden cone, so which is this 0.74, okay. all what we need to do is calculate the volume of the wooden cone. So the volume of the wooden cone is the 1/3 of the volume of a cylinder. Okay, so let's compute that here. The volume of the wooden cone equals to 1/3 the volume of a cylinder. So the volume of a cylinder is base area times height. So the base area is area of a circle multiplied by their height. So this is the volume of a wooden cone. Okay, so if you key in the values, okay, so this will be equals to 1/3 multiplied by the value of a pi is 3.142 multiplied by the radius, which is 4 squared, multiplied by the height, which is 12 centimeters. So if you compute this, if you input this into your calculator, so you should get the volume to be 201.0619 okay, cube centimeters. So from here we can now compute the mass of the wooden cone. Okay, so the density of the wooden cone is given as 0.74 multiplied by the volume. We just calculated that. So this will be 201.0619. So if you multiply these two numbers together, so you should get this should be approximately 149 to 3 significant figures. So it's good to always leave your measurement in correct it to 3 significant figures when you have a length or a volume. Okay, so this will be 149. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Question 7. Y is equals to mx plus c. Rearrange the formula to make m the subject of the formula. So what you need to do is to subtract c from the both sides. That is minus c here, minus c here. So this will give us y minus c equals to mx. Okay, as this c will cancel this c here. Okay, so the next thing is to divide both sides by x because we really want m to stand alone. Okay, so divide both sides by x. So this will cancel this. So we have y minus c over x, which is equals to m. So our final answer is equal to y minus c over x. Okay. Question 8. Calculate 2.1 squared minus 1.9 divided by 0.5. So what you can do is just to input this into your calculator, since this is just one mark, so you don't have to disturb yourself. So if you input this into your calculator, you should get 5.02. Let's go to the next question. That will be question 9. Solve the simultaneous equations. You must show all your working. Okay, so here you can take this to be equation 1 and this to be equation 2. So using elimination method, so we have to balance either w or y. So let's balance w, that is, we want the value of w in the two equations to be equal, to be similar, to be the same. Okay, so this will be multiply this by 3, the whole of equation 3 by the whole of equation 1 by 3, then the whole of equation 2 by 2. Okay, so this will give us 3 by 2w, that will be 6w minus 9y equals 11. Okay, so this will be 2 times 3w, that will be 6w, then plus 2y, then equals 2 times 11, that will be 22. Oh, sorry, here 3 times 11, I forgot this one here, 3 times 11, so this will be 33. Okay, so we are good here. Now what you can do is to eliminate w here because we have the same coefficients. Okay, if you may want to name this equation 3 and this equation 4 if you want. Okay, so since we have the same coefficient for w in equations 3 and 4 respectively, So we can now eliminate. So what will make this to be 0 is by subtraction. Okay, you put minus here, you put minus here, you put minus here. So 6w minus 6w, that will be 0. So this is gone. So here we have, so you need to be careful here, 9 by negative 9y minus positive 2y, like this. Okay, so this and this will combine together to become minus. So you have negative 9y minus 2y. Okay, so you need to be very careful when you are doing that. Okay, so this will give us negative 11y to be equals to 33 minus 22. That will give us 11. So if you divide both sides by negative 11, okay, so the value of y becomes negative 1. Okay, now you can substitute the value of y into any of the equations, be it 1, 2, 3, or 4. But I'll go with equation 1. Okay, so equation 1 is 2w, okay, minus 3 into y is equals to negative 1. So yes, let's substitute it into that equation, then equals to 11. So this and this will give us positive 3. That is, you have 2w positive 3 to be equals to 11. So this will be 2w equals to, if you subtract 3 here, subtract 3 here, so this will give us 2w, this will be 0, okay, equals to 11 minus 3, that will give us 8. So divide both sides by 2, so w is equals to 8. So w equals to 8, y equals to negative 1. So let's go to the next question, question 10. A group of 12 adults and 9 children travel on a bus. The cost of an adult ticket is $n. The cost of a child ticket is n minus $10. So the total cost of the ticket is $277.50. Okay, so find the cost of one adult ticket. Okay, so let's denote the adults by A and children by C. Okay, so the cost of one adult is $n. Okay, so that means 12 adults, that is 12A, will be equals to 12, and that's 12 adults. Then we have 9 children, so that is 9C will be equals to 9 into n minus $10. Okay, so we know that the total cost of the tickets, okay, that is this 12n plus this 9 into n minus 10 should be equals to $277.5. Okay, so we can just write this 12n plus 9 into n minus 10, okay, to be equals to 277.50. Okay, so let's expand this bracket. We have 2n plus 9n minus 90 to be equals to 277.50. Okay, so if you add this together, these two together, you get 21n. This is 21n. Then you may want to take this to the other side too, to be equals to 277.50, add 90. Okay, so you just collect like times. So this one goes here. Okay, so this will give you 21n into these two, add up to 367.5. Okay, 367.5. So if you divide both sides by 21, okay, so you have the value of n to be equals to 17.5. Okay, so the cost of one adult ticket, okay, is 17.5. So let's put the answer here, $17.5. So let's go to the next question, that is question 11. In a sale, the original price of a shirt is reduced by 15%. So the sale price of the shirt is $23.63. Find the original price of the shirt. Okay, so the original price of the shirt is at 100%. So that means you can say at 100%, okay, so the price of the shirt is, let's say X, okay, which we don't know, let's say X dollars, okay. So if you have a reduction of 15%, okay, and we were told that it was sold at $23.63 when you have a reduction of 15%. That means this 23.63 was at 85%, okay. So that means at 85%, okay, the price of the shares, okay, should be 23.63, okay. So that is the price at 85%. So we want to find the original price of this shirt. So let's cross multiply. If you cross multiply, so we have 85 by X, okay, is equals to 23.63 by 100, okay. So we divide both sides by 85, okay. So this will eliminate this now. So we are left with only X here. Okay, good. So if you input this into your calculator, so you should get the value of X. You should have it to be 27.80. So X equals to 27.80. That is $27.80. Okay, so 27.80. Let's go to the next question. That is question 12. The length of a rectangle is 16 centimeters. Correct to the nearest centimeters. The width of the rectangle is 14 centimeters. Correct to the nearest centimeter. Calculate the lower bound of the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, so the lower bound of the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, firstly, normally we know that the perimeter of a rectangle, okay, is given as 2 length and 2 width. So this is the normal formula for the perimeter of any rectangle. Okay, but since we are interested in the lower bound of the perimeter, okay, so that means the length should be the lower bound of the length, okay, and the width should be the lower bound of the width, okay. So that means we can say that the lower bound, so let's write something here, the lower bound of the perimeter should be equals to 2 times lower bound. Okay, I can say lower. Okay, let's write it here. Lower bound of the length. Okay, so plus 2 times the lower bound of the width. Okay, good. So now we need to calculate the lower bound of the length and the lower bound of the width. Okay, so since this is correct to nearest centimeters, okay, so we just have to count in 1 centimeters. Okay, so from 16 centimeters, let's count forward. So we have 16 centimeters. So the next one will be 17 centimeters. So the one before 16 will be 15 centimeters. Okay, so the lower bound is the midpoint of 15 and 16. So that means the lower bound of the length is 15.5. So I can say lower bound of the length denoted by this is equals to 15.5 centimeters. Okay, so equally the width is also correct to the nearest centimeters. So that means you can also count in 1 centimeters. So starting from 14 centimeters, so the next one will be 15 centimeters, and the one before 14 centimeters will be 13 centimeters. So the lower bound of the width will be the midpoint of 13 and 14, which is 13.5. Okay, so I haven't got this. So we can now get the lower bound of the perimeter to be equals to 2 times lower bound of the length, which is 15.5 centimeters, plus 2 times lower bound of the width, which is 13.5 centimeters. So you can actually input this into your calculator straight away, okay, and you get your answer. Or you want to simplify this bit by bit, no troubles. This will give you 31, this will give you 27. So if you add these two together, you get 58 centimeters. So the lower bound of the perimeter of the rectangle is 58 centimeters. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 13. So triangle ABC and triangle PQR are mathematically similar. Calculate the length of PR. Okay, so this PR is here, so we need this side. Okay, so we can use the ratio of corresponding sides. That is AB ratio PQ must be equal to AC ratio PR, because they are similar shapes. Okay, so if you key in the values, so this should imply 9 out of 6 to be equals to 12 over PR. So you can cross multiply. So this implies PR, okay, to be equals to 6 by 12 divided by 9. So this is equal to 8. Okay, so the length of PR is 8 centimeters. So part B, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are the cross sections of two prisms. These prisms are mathematically similar. The volume of the smaller prism is 1120 cube centimeters. Calculate the volume of the larger prism. So we can denote the volume, okay, of the bigger prism by VBP like this, and the volume of the smaller prism will be VSP. Okay, so the length of the bigger prism can be LBP, and the length of the smaller prism can be LSP. Okay, so since we have denoted all the necessary sides, okay, by this, so we can say that the volume of the bigger prism over the volume of the smaller prism should be equals to the cube of the length of the bigger prism, that is the length of the bigger prism, okay, cube, okay, ratio the length of the smaller prism, okay, also cube. Okay, so that is the ratio of the volume and the ratio of the cube of their length. Okay, so we can now substitute the necessary values here. So we want to get to the volume of the larger prism, which is the bigger prism. So we can maintain this. Okay, I think I can rub off this side now, and yeah, so this one is what we want to compute. I'll write the volume of the bigger prism over the volume of the smaller one, which is given as 1120, then to be equals to 9 cube over 6 cube. Okay, so I just picked the length, okay, of the bigger one over the length of the smaller one. Okay, so from, if you scroll up here, let me show you, we have these two sides, the corresponding sides, 9 centimeters and 6 centimeters respectively. That's what I did. Okay, so if you cross multiply, okay, and make VBP the subject of the formula, so you should have VBP to be equals to 1120 multiplied by 9 cube divided by 6 cube. Okay, if you input this into a calculator straight away, you should get 3780. So it should be 3780 cube centimeters. Question 14. Factorize this. Okay, so you can firstly try to group them into two the way it appears before you. Okay, if it doesn't work out, then you have to rearrange. So let's try. So I'm taking these two. So 5 is common. 5 into x minus 2. Then minus, what is common here is a into x, then minus 2. Okay, so this is good for me. So I can now have 5 minus a into x minus 2 as my final answer. 5 minus a into x minus 2. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 15. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 172 degrees. Find the number of sides of this polygon. Okay, so there's something you should know about a polygon. Okay, let me take one interior angle and one exterior angle. So this is one interior angle denoted by I, and this is one exterior angle denoted by X. Okay, so you see that these two angles are on a straight line, so and they should add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so since we are given one interior angle, so we can say that this one interior angle 172 plus one exterior angle, so let's take the exterior angle to be E, okay, plus E, okay, so that will be equals to 180 degrees. So one exterior angle will be equals to 180 degrees minus 172, and this should give us 8 degrees. So that means one exterior angle is 8 degrees. So you know that sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is 360 degrees, okay? So, but for a regular polygon, each exterior angle, okay, is equal, okay? So for this now, we can now say that since we have a regular polygon, that means each exterior angle is equal. So we cannot divide the, that means the number of sides will be the sum of the exterior angles of the regular polygon will be 360, then divided by 8, okay? So if you divide 360 by 8, this will give you 45 sides, okay? So that means the regular polygon has 45 sides. Question 16. On any day, the probability that the weather will be sunny is 0.7. Find the probability that on any day the weather will not be sunny. So this is probability of success and the probability of failure, okay, respectively. So we can actually do this, and the probability of success and the probability of failure add up to 1. So the probability that it will not be sunny will be 1 minus probability that it will be sunny. This will be 0.3. Okay, straight away. 16b, when the weather is sunny, the probability that Rohit goes for a walk is 0.9. When the weather is not sunny, the probability that Rohit goes for a walk is 0.2. Find the probability that on any day Rohit goes for a walk. So we can use probability 3, okay, to get our answer easily. Okay, so if we say this, so this is for a sunny day when it is sunny. So I can just use S, okay, to denote sunny, and it will be 0.7. So, and I can denote not sunny by NS. So this will be 0.3. Okay, so if it is sunny, we can still have another branch again here. So it will be, that is, when the weather is sunny, the probability that Rohit goes for a walk is 0.9. So sunny, it will be 0.9. Okay, that is, it will work. Then not work will be 0.1. Okay, so we can do the same thing for this one too. When the weather is not sunny, then the probability that it works, okay, will be equals to 0.2. And when the weather is not sunny, the probability that Rohit won't work, that's not work here, sorry, not work will be equals to 0.8. Okay, so now the question asks us to find the probability that on any day Rohit goes for a walk. Okay, so it's going to be this and this. Okay, that is, it's either you have this and this, okay, that is 0.7 multiplied by 0.9, or that is addition, okay, or it will be this and this, okay. So that will be 0.3 multiplied by 0.2. Okay, so that will be the probability that on any day Rohit goes for a walk. Okay, so we have these two chains, this and this. Okay, so if you do this, you get 0.63, add 0.6, and everything should be 0.69. Okay, so that is the final answer, 0.69. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 17a. Alex invests $400 at a rate of 2.3% per year simple interest. Find the total amount Alex has at the end of 5 years. Okay, so in this case, the principal is equals to 400. That's the starting amount. So the rate R equals to 2.3%, which is the same as 0.023%. Okay, so the amount, we don't know that yet. Then the time is equals to 5. Okay, so we need to calculate the interest because the amount is equals to the principal plus the interest. So what we want to get, we know the principal, but we don't know the interest. So the first thing we need to do is to calculate the interest. Okay, so the interest I is equals to the product of the principal, the rate, and the time. Okay, so this will give us 400 multiplied by 0.023 multiplied by the time, which is 5. Okay, so the interest will be $46. Okay, now so the amount will be equals to the principal, which is the 400 multiply add the interest, which is 46, and everything add up to $446. Okay, $446. Then part B, Virat has $100 to spend. In February, he spends X dollars. In March, he spends 10% more than he spends in February. In April, he spends 10% more than he spends in March. At the end of April, Virat has $33.80 remaining. Find the value of X. Okay, so he has $100, so let's keep that. Okay, so we need to get the amount he spends, okay, in each month. Okay, so let's say for February, noted by F for February. Okay, so it will be X for February. Okay, then in March, M for March, it will be equals to 11x over 10. Okay, so let me show you how to get this one. So you can just say that okay, let's do a rough work here. Okay, so in March he spends 10% more than he spends in February. That means in February it is at 100%, for instance, and it is equals to X as given here. Okay, so if he spends 10% more than what he spends in February, that means we need to get what he spends. The percentage will be like 110. Okay, so and that will be equals to what? We don't know. You can just say maybe Y, for instance. So if you cross multiply and try to find Y, you see that Y will be equals to 110 multiplied by 100. Okay, yes, Y equals to 110 multiplied by 100. Then no 110. Okay, I think I'm mixing it up like this. It should be, sorry, let's take that again. So let's cross multiply this and this. It will be 110 multiplied by X. Okay, yes, then divided by 100. Yes, that's it. Okay, 110 multiplied by X, then divided by this 100. Okay, so this 0 will cancel this 0. So we are left with Y equals to 11 over 10x like this. That's 11x over 10. Okay, we can easily write 1.1 here. Okay, so y is equals to 1.1x. Okay, I think I'm cool with that. So this is equals to 1.1x. Okay, so for April, so you can do the same thing. Okay, so in this case now, it's going to be 100% will be equals to this value. Okay, I think I can do the rough work here. So let's remove this and show you. So at 100%, that is a match. So you have 100% to be equals to 1.1x. Okay. Then if it spends 10% more, okay, than what it spends in March, so that will be 110 should be equals to y. So we want to find y now. So if you cross multiply again, okay, so you see that y will be equals to 110 multiplied by 1.1x, so divided by 100. Okay, so 0 will cancel 0 here, so 11 over 10. Okay, so y equals to 11 over 10 is 1.1 multiplied by 1.1x. Okay, 1.1x. Okay, so that is what you have for April. Okay, so which is, okay, you can simplify this. Y is equals to 1.1 times 1.1, so that will give you 1.21x. 1.1 times 1.1x. Okay, so you can say for April, so let's write April here, is equals to 1.21x. Okay, the total money spent, so will be equals to x plus 1.1x plus 1.21x. So this should add up to 3.31x. Okay, so and we are told that at the end of April, okay, after spending the money, at the end of April, okay, he has this left with him. Okay, so what you can do now is to say the total money, which is 100, minus the total money spent, which is 3.31x. Okay, so the the remaining part of the money should be 33.80. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Okay, so you can rearrange. You have 100 minus 3.80 to be equals to 3.31x. So this should give you 66.2 to be equals to 3.31x. If you divide both sides by 3.31, okay, you should have the value of x to be equals to 20. Okay, so the value of x is equals to 20. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 17C. Bobby invests $500 in an account that pays compound interest each year. At the end of 17 years, the value of Bobby's investment is $700.13. Okay, find the value of Bobby's investment at the end of 20 years. Okay, so here, P is equals to 500. So the number of times interest is paid in a year is 1, so n equals to 1. Then T is equals to 17, okay, for now. Okay, so we can actually use the formula for amount. That is, amount is equals to the principal, so into bracket of 1 plus the rate over n multiplied by the rate n times the time. Okay, so if you substitute the values here, you have 700 to be equals to 500 to be equals to 1 plus, okay, so the rate, we don't actually know the rate, okay, but we can say that, we can write something here. We can say that the rate R is equals to R percent. So we can say it's R percent, which is the same as, let's say, 0.01 R, okay? So R percent, let's write this very well, R percent, okay? So for the R now, I'll just put 0.01 R here, then over n, which is 1, okay, multiplied by 1 multiplied by 17, Okay, so I can now divide both sides by 500. So if I do so this will disappear here. So I'm left with this. Okay, so the next thing I can do here is to take the root of this. Let's say okay. So this will just be okay. I can multiply the powers by 1/17 to make this disappear. Okay, let me write this for clarity's sake. Okay, this will be 700 over 500. We can actually sorry, not 700. This should be 700.13. Yes, I think so. 700.13. So let me confirm that again. Yeah, 700.13. Yes, okay. So otherwise I will have cancelled the zeros. Okay, so then here I have equals to 1 plus 0.01 r, so to the power of 17. So I don't want this 17 to be here because I need to make r the subject of formula. So to do so, I have to multiply the powers, okay, by 1/17. So I'll make this to be a whole, then I'll multiply by 1/17, so that this will cancel this. So this particular one now is the same as this. So I'll put 17 here into 700.13 over 500, okay, then equals to 1 plus 0.01 r. Okay, so you can actually input this into your calculator. Okay, so and that will give you 1.0200 like that, then equals to 1 plus 0.01 r. So this will be 1.02 minus 1 equals to 0.01 r. So this will be 0.02 to be equals to 0.01 r. If we divide both sides by 0.01, okay, 0.01, so the value of r should be equals to you have the value of r to be equals to 0. So the value of r is equals to 2%. We have 2%, that is r. Okay, but we're not done yet. So we just need the rate to actually get the value of Bobby's investment at the end of 20 years. Okay, since we know the rate at the end of 17 years, okay, we have two options. So we can now get the amount, okay, from let's say 1 to 20, like that, okay, or we take the principal, the amount at the end of the 17th year as the principal, then we now take t to be equals to 3. So let me show you. So we have two options. Let me say the first option is this. This is the first option. So you can see that the amount is equals to the principal, okay, into 1 plus the rate over n into n times t. So if you key in the values now, the amount will be equals to the principal will be 500. So if you take the principal to be the 500, that's from the beginning of year 1, then you have 1 plus the rate is 2%, which is 0.02 over 1, okay, because interest is paid once in a year, so n is equals to 1, then 1 times t now, so it will be 20 years. Okay, so if you input this into your calculator, so the amount should be equals to 742.97. So that will be the amount. Okay, so alternatively, you can use the second option. Okay, in this case now, we take the principal at the beginning of the 18th year to be equals to 700.13. That is, the amount at the end of the 17th year will be the principal at the beginning of the 18th year. Okay, so in this case, we only have 18th, 19th, and 20th years. So that means t will be equals to 3 just for 3 years, and n will be equals to 1. It remains 1, and the rate remains 2%, which is 0.02 as well. So in this case now, we need to say the amount will be equals to 700.13 into the bracket of 1 plus 0.02 to the power of 1 by 3. This one is over 1. Okay, so if you input this into your calculator, so the amount should be equals to 742.98. okay, so this is what you get. Okay, so you can use any of these two options, so it depends on you. So if you take the principal to be 500, that means you are considering from year 1 to year 20. Okay, from years 1 to from year 1 to year 20. But if you take the principal to be 700.13, that means you are taking the year to be from year 17 to year 20. So that is just the difference there. So you can use any one that is convenient for you. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So that will be question 18. So you have A, B, C, D, and E lie on a circle. Find the values of X, Y, and Z. Okay, so this is pretty easy. So all you have to do is to apply the circle theorems that you know. Okay, starting with starting with the X. Okay, angle X. So what you need to do here, this is angle X and it's inside this triangle EC and this, which you can name anything, probably let's say M or anything. Okay, so we have sum of angles in a triangle to be to add up to 180 degrees. So we can easily get the value of X here straight away. So let me just write here. So X will be equals to 180 degrees minus 26 degrees minus 125 degrees. So that will give you the value of X, because it is actually straight forward. So X will be equals to 29 degrees. So that will be the value of N. That will be the value of X. Okay, so X equals to 29 degrees. Okay, so for Y, let's see. Y is here, is inside this triangle AEB. Okay, and there's nothing we can use here directly. So let's apply a theorem. So this angle Y, okay, comes from this arc AB. Okay, and if you look at this angle C here, this particular one, 52 degrees, it also comes from the arc AB. So that implies angles Y and 52 degrees, okay, both come from the same arc. For this reason, they are angles in the same segment. So an angle in the same segment are equal. So I can say Y is equals to 52 degrees. Finally, we need to find angle Z. So angle Z is here. Okay, so it's in this triangle, but we don't know this angle. We don't know this angle. So what we need to do now is to make use of the available theorems, so which is cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, so if you look at this now, you have many cyclic quadrilateral. So let me show you some. You have E, D, C, B, back to E. That is one. Okay, so but if you look at it, we can actually make use of this. Okay, so because if you can get this angle here, okay, then we can now get the value of Z, because this angle, I can call it angle M for instance, okay, and angle Z, they are supplementary. That is, they both add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so how can I get angle M? It's super easy. I can get angle M from these three angles. Okay, that is angle X, which is 29 plus 26 plus 52. Okay, that will give me M. Okay, so if I get the value of M, yeah, I know that these two are supplementary. So that will be 180 minus the answer I get here. So that will be the value of Z. Okay, that will be the value of Z. Okay, so this is pretty easy. Okay, so now what that implies is that eventually angle Z, okay, this one, angle Z will be equals to 29 plus 26 plus 52. So that will be equals to 107 degrees. So that is what it's going to be. But let me show you, let me explain it for clarity's sake. So I have to find angle M, okay? So we find angle M. Angle M will be equals to 180 minus 29 minus 26 minus 52. So M will be equals to 73 degrees. So that will be the value of M here. So this angle will be 73. Okay, so since M is equals to 73, and we know that Z and angle M are supplementary angles, okay, so in this case we'll say Z plus M equals to 180 degrees because they are supplementary angles of a side quadrilateral. So that will be Z will be equals to 180 minus M. So that will be Z will be equals to 180 minus 73. So that will give you 107 degrees. So that's why I said, okay, it's just like you are returning the something here. Okay, so once you understand this very well, you can actually get the value of your Z straight away. Okay, so another option is to make use of this cyclic quadrilateral again. Okay, we have EDCA. Okay, so which is another option. So it follows the same pattern. So you can calculate the value of this angle. Okay, and that angle which will also be 73 as well. Okay, it will also be 73. Okay, so that means our Z is equals to 107. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 19. Okay, so 19a. F of x equals to this, so find f of minus 3. So that will just be f of minus 3 equals to minus 3 plus 1 straight away. So that will give us minus 2, just one mark, no need to waste time. So part B, the domain of g of x is equals to this. Find the range of g of x. So the range of g of x will be output of each of these when passed to the g of x. So that means g of minus 3. Okay, that will be the first one. It will be equals to 5 minus 2 into minus 3. So this will be equals to 5. So expand this, you get plus 6. Okay, so this will give you 11. Okay, so this will be 11, comma, then the other one, g of 0. So that will be 5 minus 2 into 0. So definitely, so that is going to be 5. Okay, and the last one is g of 2, which will be equals to 5 minus 2 into 2. That will be equals to 5 minus 4. That will be equals to 1. So we have 11, 5, and 1. So let's go to part C. Find x when h of x is equals to 1 over 32. Okay, so h of x is equals to 2 to the power of x. So you can say 2 to the power of x. So this is an exponential function equals to 1 over 32, which is the same as 2 to the power of x equals to 1 over 2 to the power of 5. So this implies 2 to the power of x is equals to 2 to the power of negative 5. Okay, so that is a negative index. So eventually base 2 will cancel out base 2, x equals to negative 5. Part D, find x when h inverse of x equals to 3. Okay, so this is h of x to be equals to an exponential function, that is 3 to the power of x. Okay, so for this now you have different ways of doing it. Okay, so but there is one thing I want you to know. If you have the exponential function, so the inverse will be a logarithmic function. Okay, so if you understand these two functions together very well, that is the exponential and the logarithmic function, you will see that x is equals to 2 to the power of negative inverse of h of x rather. Okay, so x will be equals to 2 to the power of h inverse of x. Okay, and that will be x equals to 2 to the power of, if h inverse of x equals to is given as 3, then you have 3 here. So the value of x will be equals to 8. Okay, so that is one way of doing it. Okay, so because a logarithmic function, okay, and an exponential function are similar. Okay, so just like when you have something like you have, let's say, natural log, okay, which you can say log, let's say log x, okay, so base e, for instance, let's say it's equals to a number, then you can actually say e to the power of n, okay, is equals to x. Okay, so it's a kind of thing like that. Okay, so they are inverse of one another. So in this case now, so this one is exponential form now. Okay, it's an exponential function. Okay, so that is how you can transit from a logarithmic function to an exponential function. Okay, so in case you don't understand this very well, okay, so as far as IGCSE is concerned, so we don't actually have logarithmic functions or natural log function, okay, or lane function. Okay, but you can just use that like this. Okay, just like this, you can say h of x is equals to I think 2 to the power of x. Okay, so if you have this now, so the inverse of h of x now, okay, the inverse of h of x, so because to lane x, if you take natural log of both sides, it will be lane x over lane 2. Okay, so but eventually we don't have we don't have this as part of the syllabus, IGCSE syllabus. Okay, so we can say this one now, h inverse of x is giving us 3. Okay, so which is equals to lane x over lane 2. So let's cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you have lane x to be equals to 3 times lane 2. So which you can write as lane x to be equals to lane 2 to the power of 3. So this lane can cancel this lane now. Then x is equals to 2 to the power of 3 and is still equals to 8. Okay, but if you understand logarithmic and an exponential, a logarithmic and an exponential function, okay, you understand this particular one is pretty straightforward. Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's go to the next one. That will be question 20. Okay, the diagram shows a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. CD equals to 10 meters and DB equals to 12 meters. Angle DBA equals to 90 degrees. Angle CDB equals to 56 degrees. And angle ADB equals to 34 degrees. Okay, calculate the length of AB. Okay, so to calculate the length of AB, so this particular one, okay, so we can, I think we can just use sine rule to do that. Okay, so it will be, let me just write here because I don't want to scroll down. So you can just say, you know this angle, right? You can get this angle BAD or DAB. Okay, BAD. Okay, it will be equals to 90 degrees minus 34. That is equals to 56 degrees. Okay, so in case you want to use this, so that is that because these two angles are complementary angles, they add up to 90 degrees because we already have a right angle here, which is 90 degrees. Okay, so that is in case you want to use 56. Okay, so for this one now, since I want to find AB, so that means I have a side and its corresponding angle, which is this. Then I have this 34, so I can use it against this AB. So I will say 12 centimeters, that is this side, 12 meters rather, over its corresponding angle, that is sine 56, then it's equals to this side, AB, that I'm looking for, okay, over its corresponding angle, that is sine, okay, 34. So I can now, if I cross multiply and make AB the subject of the formula, so I will have AB to be equals to 12 times sine 34 divided by sine 56. Okay, so that means the value of my AB, okay, if you input this into your calculator, should give you 8.09, that is 3 significant figures, okay? And you can leave it before, okay? So let's just put the value of AB here, 8.09, okay, to 3 significant figures, okay? Part B, calculate the area of quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, so the area of the quadrilateral ABCD will be the area of triangle ABD and plus the area of triangle BCD. Okay, so we add them together. Okay, so let's start with the area of triangle ABD, which is a right angle. So we can actually make use of base. Okay, the base is AB times the height, okay, divided by 2. So that is the height is 12, the base AB. Okay, so AB is the base. So you can say that the area will be base times. So the area, let's write area of triangle, I think ABD, yes. So it will be equals to the base. The base is the length AB we found, which is 8.09 times the height is the 12 centimeter divided by 2. Okay, so this eventually will give us 48.54 squared meters. Okay, so that's for this. Okay, you can put it there, squared meters. Okay, then the area of triangle, the second one, let's scroll up a little bit. Triangle BCD. Triangle B, actually, let me denote this of triangle like this, BCD. So will be equals to, so let's scroll up. In this case now, we don't know this side, but we have the angle. So it will be the product of these two sides, 10 meters times 12 meters times sine of this angle. Okay, the side whose the sides whose angle is given, that is the unknown side. We always use the angle of the unknown side. Yes, always make use of the angle of the unknown side. So this is the unknown side BC, and this is the angle 56 degrees. So it will be the product of these two known sides multiplied by the angle of the unknown side, then divided by 2. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. You don't have to use you don't have to memorize any formula. Just understand how the area works, and you are pretty good to go. So in this case, I have to say the product of the two given sides. So that would be 12 multiplied by you need to scroll, yes, 10. I think 10. Then multiply by sine of the angle of unknown side, that is sine 56, okay, divided by 2. Okay, so if you input this into your calculator straight away, so you should get 49.74. So the area of the quadrilateral now, okay, the area of the quadrilateral, so will be equals to the sum of the two answers, this and this, the area of triangle ABD plus the area of triangle BCD. So this will give us 48.54 squared meters plus 49.74 squared meters, and that will be equals to that will be approximately 98.3 to 3 significant figures. So 98.3. So let's go to part C. Calculate the perimeter of the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, so ABCD. So we need to know the value of AB. So we already know this. So we need to find the value of BC. Okay, so we know the value of CD. So we need to find the value of AD. So we need to find these two sides, this side and this side. Okay, so that is what we're gonna do. Okay, so we can start from triangle BCD. Okay, so I will label this side D. This will be side D. Okay, so I will label this side B. okay, that is b equals to 10, then I will label these 12 meters as side C, okay. So I think I can use cosine rule to get this straight away, okay. So let's just write from triangle BCD, okay. So we can use the cosine rule to be d squared equals to b squared plus c squared minus 2 into b into c, okay, then cos d, okay. So I can take the square root of both sides straight away. So this will give me square root of the whole of this. Then d will be equals to, so I can substitute the values there. It will be equals to 10 squared plus, I think 12 squared minus 2 into 10 into 12. Then cos the angle is 56 degrees. So you can easily input this into your calculator straight away, and you get the value of d to be equals to, I think that is 10.4, yes, 10.4782. So that's the value of your d, so which is the same as the line BC, okay, good. So we need to calculate the second side from triangle ABD, okay. From triangle ABD, we need to find line AD, okay, and this one is a right angle triangle. We can actually make use of SOHCAHTOA, and in this case it is cos. So we can say cos 34 will be adjacent, okay, over hypotenuse. So adjacent is 12, hypotenuse is this AD, okay. So let's go and do that straight away. So we can just say from, okay, triangle ABD, so we can say cos 34 is equals to adjacent, which is 12 over the hypotenuse, which is line AD. So this implies that AD is equals to 12 over cos 34, okay, degrees. So you can input this into your calculator, okay, and you get the value of line AD to be 14.4746. So you can actually add the four sides together now. So that is, you can say the perimeter will be equals to AB plus BC plus CD plus back to ADA. Okay, in this case, this will give you 8.09, that is AB, plus BC is 10.4782, plus, at least we found that here, then plus CD, that is 14, plus CD, I think that is, let's check, 8.09 plus 10.4782 plus CD, I think is 10, yes, plus 10, yes, let me confirm that. Yes, CD is 10, that is 10 there, good. Then plus, then DA, which is AD, which is 14.4746. So if you add these four numbers together, okay, that would be 3.0, that is to three significant figures, okay. Part D, calculate the shortest distance from B to line AD, okay, from B to line AD, so it will be this perpendicular line like this, okay. So this is what we're going to get, okay. Now, having this makes it easy for us, so I can just call this point M, okay. Let this be point M. So in this case now, so what we want to do is to find the length BM, okay. So that length BM is the shortest distance, okay. So we can use sine 34, okay. That will be sine theta equals to opposite over hypotenuse. That will be BM over 12, okay. So let's go and do that now. So we need to scroll down a little bit. So it will be sine 34, okay, degrees equals to bm, okay, over 12. Okay, so this implies bm is equals to 12 times sine 34. Okay, so you can actually input this into your calculator straight away, and that will give you 6.71 to 3 significant figures. Okay, so bm equals to 6.71. okay, that's to 3 significant figures, 6.71. okay, good. Question 21a. So we need to simplify this. So this is pretty easy. You multiply the numbers 3 by 5, 15. Then you apply multiplication law of indices on t to the power of 5 times c to the power of 3. That will be t to the power of 5 add 3. That will be equals to 15t to the power of 8. Okay, so you write 15t to the power of 8. So part B, so you can write this as 64 to the power of 5 over 6, okay, multiplied by u to the power of 36 times 5 over 6, because this power 5 over 6 is meant for 24 and u respectively. So I can write 64 in base 2 so that this power denominator 6 can cancel it. Okay, that is 2 to the power of 6 is the same as 64. Then multiplied by 5 to the power of 6. You can see that 6 can actually cancel out 6 here. So then I'm coming back to that. Then u to the power of 6 here, 1. 6 in 36, 6. So I have 6 times 5 left here. So this will be equals to 2 to the power of 5 times u to the power of 6 times 5, which is 30. Finally, 2 to the power of 5 is the same as 32. Okay, then u to the power of 30. So this will be my final answer. So 32 u to the power of 30. So let's go to the next question. So that will be question 22. Okay, this is our Venn diagram. So we have the universal set, we have set G, we have set H. Okay, the Venn diagram shows the information about 33 students in a class. Okay, so one of the students is in the class is picked at random. Find the probability that this student, okay, this student does not study geography and does not study history. Okay, so we are selecting from one student in the class is picked at random. Okay, so we want to find the probability that this student does not study geography and does not study history. Okay, so in this case now, that means we need to get students who neither study geography nor history. So in this case, it will be this. This is 5. Okay, so the total is 33. So the probability will be 5 out of 33. Then find the probability that this student studies geography and studies history. Okay, so if you go to geography and history, that is together, it will be 13, okay, out of 33. Okay, so this will be 13 out of 33. Then part B, 2 of these students who study history are picked at random. Find the probability that one student also studies geography and one student does not study geography. So in this case now, so you have to focus. 2 of the students who study history are picked, okay, at random. So that means we are dealing with history, and if you look at history here, so the total is 20. Okay, that is 7 add 13. This is the circle of history. Okay, that is the total will be equals to 13 add 7, so this will be equals to 20 now. So that is where we are picking from. So find the probability that one student also studies geography and other students, okay, does not study geography. Okay, so one student study geography, Okay, in this case, it's going to be this one here, 13 out of 20. Okay, study geography. Okay, it will be 13 out of 20, and the other student does not study geography. Okay, does not study geography. It will be 7 here. Okay, so it will be 7 out of 19. Okay, because you have already selected one, so the total will drop to 19. That is, those who study geography will be 12, and while you have 7 here, so that is why you have 19. Okay, so it can be in the other way around. So, or it can be this 7 out of 20 first, and then this will come next. This will be 13 out of 19. Okay, so we have two options. Okay, so that is why in probability all means addition. Okay, so you have to add these two together. So instead of you writing this twice, okay, you can actually multiply this by 2, because you have it's a two-way thing. Okay, you can just say multiply by 2. Okay, so if you do this, you should get 91. Okay, this should be equals to 91 over 190. Okay, if you simplify this. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 23. So we are asked to simplify this. So if you look at this, you can factor out h. Okay, at the numerator it will be h into h plus 4. Then over this one is the same as h squared minus 16. We can actually write this, the denominator, as difference of two squares. Okay, so this will be equals to h into h plus 4 over h squared minus 4 squared. Okay, which is the same as h into h plus 4 into over h plus 4 into h minus 4. So h plus 4 will cancel out h plus 4, so we are left with h into h minus 4. So this will be my final answer, h over h minus 4. So question 24. Ahmed walks 2 kilometers at a speed of x kilometer per hour. He then walks a further 3 kilometers at a speed of x plus 1 kilometers per hour. The total time it takes to walk the 5 kilometers is 1 whole 1 out of 4 hours. So that's 1/4 hours. Show that 5x squared minus 15x minus 8 equals to 0. Okay, so what you can do here, you can see that, okay, the first time, okay, t1 will be equals to let's say, okay, I think what you can do, let me just write some stuff up here. So you can see that d1, the first distance, is equals to 2 kilometers. Then the first speed is equals to s kilometers per hour. Okay, so in this case, you can have t1 to be equals to okay, let's do it like this. You know, speed is equals to distance over time. So time will be equals to distance over speed now. So that means t1 will be equals to distance over time, speed. That will be 2 over x. Okay, so this is the first one. You can call this one here. Then we also have d2 to be equals to 3, and then speed, that's the second speed, to be equals to x plus 1 kilometer. Okay, so in this case we have t2, the time taken for the second journey, to be equals to 3 out of x plus 1. So, but we are told that the total time it takes to walk the 5 kilometers is this. So that means you can say t1 plus t2 should be equals to 4 times 1, 4, add 1, 5, 5 over 4. That is 1 whole 1/4. Okay, so we can actually say 2 over x plus 3 over x plus 1 is equals to 5 over 4. Okay, so now we need to linearize this by multiplying through by the LCM of the denominator. Okay, I think I can do something like this now. It will be 2 over x, okay, multiplied by x multiplied by x plus 1 multiplied by 4. That is the LCM of x plus 1 and 4. So the same thing plus 3 over x plus 1 multiplied by x multiplied by x plus 1 multiplied by 4. Then is equals to 5 over 4 multiplied by x multiplied by x plus 1 multiplied by 4. So here, x, we cancel x here. So we are left with 2 into x plus 1 into 4. So you'll be having 2 times 4, 8. So we'll be left with 8 into x plus 1 here. Here, the whole of this, we cancel the whole of this. We're left with x times 4. That will be 4x. 4x times 3. That will be 12x. Okay, equals to 4. We cancel 4 here. So here we'll be left with 5x multiplied by x plus 1. Okay, so if you open this bracket here, you have 8x plus 1 plus 12x to be equals to, this will be 5x squared plus 5x. Okay, so from here, I can just come here. So I can now collect like times now. So this will be, let's see, what can we do here? Okay, I think we can, oh, sorry, there's a mistake here. So this should be 8 times x, 8x plus 8. 8 times 1 is 8, not 1. 8. Okay, so what you can do here now is, so add these two together, 8x and 12x, that will be 20x. Okay, so that means we have 8 plus 20x, okay, to be equals to 5x squared plus 5x here. So if we arrange this, this will give us 5x squared, 5x squared plus 5x minus 20x, then minus 8 equals to 0. If we take everything to the right hand side here, okay, so this will give us 5x squared, then you have minus 15x minus 8 equals to 0. So we have shown that. Part B. Find the value of x, show all your working, and give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. From the given quadratic equation, 5x squared minus 15x minus 8 equals 0. So if you compare this with the general form of quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you see that a equals 5, b equals negative 15, and c equals negative 8. So using the quadratic formula, x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac everything over 2a. So if you key in the values, you have x to be equal to negative 15 plus or minus square root of negative 15 squared minus 4 into 5 into negative 8. Okay, so everything over 2 into 5. Okay, so let's simplify that. So this will give us x into, so negative will become positive. We have 15 plus or minus square root of negative 15 squared, that will be 225. Then minus 4 times 5, that is minus 20. Minus 20 times minus 8, so that is plus 160. Then over 2 times 5, that is 10. So this will give us x to be equals to 15 plus or minus square root of, this to add up to 385 over 10. Okay, so but here x must be positive. Okay, we need the positive side, the positive value of x. Okay, because we are dealing with distance, and there's no way you can have a negative distance. Okay, so we need the positive value. So 385. Okay, so this will be x equals to 15 plus the square root of 385 is 19.62, so over 10. So we don't need the negative side because it will give us a negative value. So this will be equal to 15. Okay, 15 add 19.6. That will be 34.62 divided by 10. Okay, and the final answer is equal to 3.46 to 2 decimal places. 3.46. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 25. P is the point 8,0 and Q is the point 20,6. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Give your answer in the form y equals to mx plus c. Okay, you can have something like this. This is what you have. Let's say this is point P and it has the coordinates 8,0, and this is point Q. It has the coordinates 20,6. Okay, so the perpendicular bisector of PQ will be the midpoint. So you can have M here. You can call this one x 3, x y 3. Okay, so this will be the perpendicular bisector. So we need the equation of this perpendicular bisector. Okay, so what do we need to do? Okay, let's take x1 to be equals to 8, then y1 to be equals to 0, then x2 to be equals to 20, then y2 to be equals to 6. So we need to find the midpoint of length PQ, that is M. So to get the values of x3 and y3. Okay, so using this, x is equals to, that is x3 will be equals to x1 plus x2 over 2. So this will be, this equals to 8 plus 20 over 2. This will be 28 over 2 is equals to 14. So x3 is equals to 14. Then y3 will be equals to y1 will be equal to y1 plus y2 over 2. So equals to y1 is equals to, okay, y1 equals 0, then plus y2 is equal to 6 over 2. So that will be 0 plus 6, that will be 6 over 2. So that will be 3. So y3 is equal to 3. So we can put the values here. X is equal to 14 and y, that's x3, then y3 is equal to 3. So that is the midpoint. Then we need to find, so that means the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ passes through M equals point M with the coordinates 14 and 3 respectively for x and y. Okay, so we need to find the gradients of M for gradient PQ. So let's say M1, that's the gradient, it will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is equal to, the value of y2 is equal to 6 minus 0 over x2, which is equal to 20 minus x1, which is equal to 8. Okay, so if you do this, you get 6 out of 12, which is equals to 1 out of 2. But we need the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. So I can call this one, let's say mn. So that will be perpendicular to this. So we need m2, which is the gradient of the perpendicular bisector, and it is perpendicular to it. So it will be minus 1 over 2. So which is equals to negative 2. So that is the gradient. Now we need the equation. Okay, I can demarcate this side now. We need the equation of the perpendicular bisector, that is Mn, that passes through this point. Okay, so using y minus y3 equals to m into x minus x3. So y minus y3 is 3, then it's equal to the gradient negative 2 into x minus x3, which is 14. Okay, so let's simplify this. Y minus 3 equals to negative 2 times x, that is negative 2x, then negative 2 times negative 14, that will be positive 28. So let's rearrange this and get our final answer. So this will be equal to y equals to minus 2x plus 28 plus 3. So finally, y equals to negative 2x plus 31. So this is the final answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So let's go to the next question. Oh, sorry, next question should be below this. That's question 26. Okay, so given that y equals to ax to the power of 11 plus 3x to the power of b, the y dx equals to 44x to the power of 10 plus 18x to the power of c. Find the values of a, b, and c respectively. So the first thing you need to do is to differentiate this given equation. Okay, so what will be the y dx? The y dx will be equals to 11 times ax, that is 11ax, then 11 minus 1, that is 10, okay, plus b times 3x, that is 3bx, okay, then b to the power of b minus 1. Okay, so this is the y dx. Okay, so if you compare, okay, I can call this one 1. So let me call this 2. If I compare the two equations 1 and 2, so it is clear that 11a is equals to 44 by comparison. So which implies a equals to 44 over 11, so which is equals to 4. So the value of a equals 4. So similarly, we can also compare this again, that is 3b is equal to 18, okay, by comparison. So b equals 18 over 3, which is equal to 6. Okay, so finally we can compare this. C equals b minus 1, then c equals b is 6 minus 1, then c equals 5. So that means a equals to 4, b equals to 6, and c equals 5. Okay, so let's scroll down and put our values there. A equals to 4, b equals to 6, and c equals to 5 respectively. Okay, so we're almost done. This is the last question. Okay, this question, the diagram shows a cube. Calculate the angle between the diagonal AP and the base ABCD. Okay, so since we have a cube, that means all the sides are equal. L, 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 L. And we also have the height to be L as well. Okay, so this is what you have here. Now that means L is equals to, the length is L, the breadth is L, or the width is L, and the height is also L. So calculate the angle between AP and the base ABC. So this is the angle. So this is the base of ABCD. Okay, so the angle between AP and the base ABC will be this angle from here to this one here. Okay, so let's indicate this angle. So this is the angle we want to calculate. Okay, so let's say this is theta. Okay, so if we can get the length either AP or AC, then we can use SOHCAHTOA to get the angle. Okay, that is sine, cosine, or tangent. So depending on the values, the parameters we are able to get. Okay, so let's start with this. From A, B, C, D, we can actually get side AC. So this will be, okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, I can see right here. So this will be AC squared is equals to, AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. So AC will be equals, okay, AC equals square root of AB squared plus BC squared. Okay, so now let's key in the values. We have AC equals square root L squared plus L squared. Then finally you can say AC equals square root of 2L squared. And we can say that AC, if you want to simplify this further, say this is root 2 times L. Okay, so that is the value of AC. So now that we have the value of AC, so we can actually use this SOHCAHTOA because we have this. Okay, let's draw this. And I can bring this one here. Okay, good. So we can actually, okay, let's label this. This is A, this is C, and this is P. So this is the angle we want to calculate, that is theta. This is L, and this is root 2 times L, okay? So using opposite over adjacent, that is tan theta, okay? So tan theta equals L over root 2 times L. So this, we cancel this. So we are left with tan theta equals to 1 over root 2. So we can take tan inverse of both sides. Okay. So this will be equal to tan inverse of 1 over root 2. So tan, we cancel tan inverse, we're left with theta. Theta equals tan inverse of 1 over root 2. So if you input this into your calculator, so you should get the final answer, which is 35.3. So correct to 3 significant figures. So this is the value of the angle between the diagonal AP and the base ABCD. So this is the end of my solution to the Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics paper 4.2 written in May-June 2025. Okay, so see you in the next video where I'll be solving the paper 4.1. Okay, until then, have your fingers crossed.